I may hate drama in my life, but I love talking about the drama in yours.
I may watch too much reality TV, but you're listening to me talk about it. Hey everybody, this is Fumi.
And I'm B.
And you have tuned into a new episode of RealiTEA-V, where we like to talk about reality TV shows because it's everyone's guilty pleasure.
Yes.
So, my head hurts a little bit. So I might be a little slow today. How was your week, B?
It was good. No complaints. Good as usual.
That's good.
Survived the heat.
Well, I mean, it's not really over.
Yeah. I'm surprised as much as I've been out. I'm not sunburned, so that's been a plus.
I think you so happen to stay in the house when it's like when it's the really, really bad heat. When it was like 17 the other day.
Yeah.
Or you went out later, something like that.
Yeah.
But it rained so bad last night.
Mm-hmm.
The wind, I felt like my windows were going to break in and shatter.
Yeah.
It was shaking so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it cleared out this spider web of this ferocious spider that's been by my door. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Apparently it's monsoon season.
Yes.
So
I don't think you really got to... I experienced it last summer. Because I was like, what the fuck kind of weather is this? And then I remember a couple years back when I came to Vegas to like visit, it rained. It was 4th of July weekend. I'm like, why is it raining?
Yeah.
Never knew Vegas had a monsoon season until I moved here. And I was like, oh, so this happens.
Yeah.
Just lightning storms for no reason. Just even if it's not raining, it gets humid.
Yeah.
Which is really, I mean, not as bad as Texas, like nowhere near like that, but it definitely gets humid when you walk out. You're like, ooh, it's kind of wet out here.
Yeah. We were watching a movie at the pool, and I'm like, what's this light flashing? It was like, oh, it's lightning. And then they told us a little later, they're like, because it's lightning, we have to tell you guys to get out of the pool. And it was like, all right, time to go.
Right?
Yeah.
What movie did you guys see?
Baywatch. They just showed it. It's like movies at the pool. I'm like, Vegas, y'all are good for these little events. But then LA had them too. I just wasn't interested in going, so.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Probably the people. I love my friends, but they probably was like, I don't feel like doing that. And so then in turn I was like, well, I guess I won't do it.
Well, always good for some change.
Yeah.
But yeah, the weather is just, last night it was really bad. I'm glad my car was covered by a little thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it. But, yeah, anyway, let's dive into these, well, not these stories. Well, yeah, technically these news stories from our celebrities of reality TV. So, first news that we have, and I know she's so proud of it, is that Sheree's joggers are coming out.
Yay, good for her.
They will be coming out in September as expected, according to her Instagram. And she's also releasing a rug line. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how she came to the conclusion of a rug line.
Maybe she has a knack for picking out nice rugs. I don't know.
Her knack or her stylist knack? Her interior designer.
I wasn't aware she could afford one.
A rug line?
An interior designer.
Remember she on the show, she was talking to an interior designer?
Yeah, I didn't watch it that much. But yeah, well, we'll see when your rugs hit the store. And
do you know what she does for work? Like how she gets her coins?
That's why I didn't know she had an interior designer. But I don't know. But
does she get like a good alimony or something from her divorce?
I don't know. I mean, I remember she said she wanted 6 figures, but I don't think she even got that because Bob was broke. That's a good question. I mean, she's been maintaining for no one to know what she does or where her money comes from.
Obviously she gets checks from the show. But I don't think it's enough to build, what did she call it? Chateau Charest?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. It took her like 5 or 6 years to build that house. So, did she ever give a clear reason why? I mean, I know people have to hire and fire contractors. It's like happens sometimes. Yeah. But hell, even in Vegas, it takes 8 months to get a 5,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
From the ground up.
Well, I mean, she'll probably never come out and say exactly what happens. But it's there. It's almost fully furnished. Maybe she'll use her rugs as, decorations.
I mean, if she make a rug, she might as well just make a placemat, the doormat, so she can give one to Portia.
Just have the whole little collection of mats. That's what I would do.
I still want my please get out of my Caucasian house mat from Joanne the Scammer.
So,
I mean, if she can collaborate with Joanne the Scammer, I'm pretty sure she'll sell like hotcakes.
Right.
I think that would be smart.
But would Joanne want to collaborate with her?
I mean, Joanne is a messy bitch.
Like, he probably only wants to collaborate with people he can scam, and I don't know what Sheree has
to scam away.
Right. Besides that house, which probably still has a mortgage, he's like, you know what, not even worth it. But best of luck with you and your rugs. We'll see them when they come out in September or spring.
Jogger.
I thought they were like those things from the 90s that, like, when you walk, it makes that noise. Yeah.
The swishy. Oh, that reminds me. When I was in middle school, we had a computer lab. Remember those days? And that man would refuse any student of coming into the computer lab if they had the swishies.
Yeah.
Because it was so loud.
Annoying, yeah.
And that's, like, all we wore was even just the,
sweaters.
Remember the overcoats from Old Navy that had the zipper? Like, even those, like, everything made noise.
Yeah.
And I guess it's, computer lab is supposed to be quiet time. He was like, fuck that. Fuck these kids. Y'all ain't messing up the noise level up in my computer lab.
Okay.
So I'm just thinking, like, I haven't heard the term joggers in a while. Yeah. So is it a sweatsuit?
Right, or
sweatpants collection, or
it's another athletic term for leggings or something. I don't know.
Is it like an old school J-Lo velour outfit?
I would hope not. Those were cute though, but
everybody was having those.
Probably wouldn't want one from her. Yeah. But we shall see in spring of September.
Someone called her the Sonia of ATO.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, she better have these rugs available when she has the rug launch party.
Right. So, in our next piece of news, Tommy from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was arrested back down in Atlanta. She was detained apparently for hitting valet.
Oh.
And the valet wind up, I guess the police are like right there. And he didn't want to press charges, but they arrested her anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's like she can never really stay out of trouble.
Like she hit him with her car, like her fist.
Her hands.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And this was just like a day or so ago. Pretty recent. Was it in Atlanta? I don't know if it's in Atlanta or... Yep, it says if she was arrested in Atlanta. Yeah. So, and then, of course, there's a video. It was on the Shade Room. And she looks in the worst outfit to possibly be in when you're getting arrested. Right. But I wonder why she just can't stay out of trouble. Like, you can't... I understand fighting bitches on the show because that's how you get your checks.
Yeah.
But you over here allegedly... putting your hands on people in front of officers. It's like she doesn't know when to turn that off.
Yeah, and I'm tempted to say it's not even the show that makes her behave this way, because she's been arrested about good 9-10 times before even Love and Hip Hop existed. But yeah, I mean, thought she would have learned by now. You can't just be putting your hands on people all willy-nilly and expect to go home to your warm bed at night. But
this is even worse because nobody had to call the police.
Yeah. So,
it's like you just really set yourself up.
Yeah. So I'd like to say, like, oh, she'll learn a lesson, but probably not. But, hope you figure it out.
Yeah. I hope she does too, because this has gone on long enough. Mm-hmm. And you want someone to do better. I mean, she's pretty. The songs I've heard from her aren't half bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's just going to be part of that Love and Hip Hop doom of hearing songs on the show, but not on the radio.
Yeah, and getting arrested.
All the time.
Yeah. I feel like with all of these shows, especially the Mona Scott produced ones, if you don't have like a plan for your life and you just come on these shows like, well, I'm about to just wing it, it kind of makes it easier for you to either fall into that trap of just not really getting anywhere or just doing what you've always done. And for Tommy, it probably might be just getting in trouble with the law. Like, I don't know. I can't really help you fix your life because your life is way too complicated for me.
I don't even know if Iyanla can do it.
Right. But
at this point, she really does need to go to Iyanla because
I don't think Iyanla. She been trying to put her hands on Iyanla.
I mean, that little girl did try to.
Yeah, I think she needs like some real help
from a licensed professional.
Yeah, okay. A real licensed professional off camera. And sadly, she might need to just leave the show because VH1, along with all networks, like, they only really try to step in when it's, like, really, really too late, where it's like, oh, my God. But for the most part, if you are acting an ass and your antics are bringing them the ratings, they're not, your well-being isn't a concern of theirs. So.
Right.
Best of luck.
I think the only person they really kind of got sooner than later was Tia Marie. Because she was spiraling. Well, no, I take that back because she did get arrested and had to go through this whole thing with the Uber driver.
Yeah.
But I don't think she attacked, like, producers and stuff.
Yeah.
And security and all of that. Speaking of Tia Marie, you see all that drama between her, Akbar, and...
Yeah.
What's his name? Starts with M.
Right. But then, I mean, granted, now it's the whole controversy of did Tiara actually leak the video or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, even once they did do their version of stepping in and helping her, I guess, I won't say it didn't work because I don't know, like, her drinking habits or her, partying habits now compared to before, but it just doesn't look like she's really doing much with her life. But then Love and Hip Hop LA has not been on, so you don't really see, but...
Oh, it's about to come on in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'll watch clips.
And K Michelle's going to be back on that one.
Yeah, I'll watch her clips too. Yeah, I'm not giving them no more brain cells. But I don't know. I've only seen like a handful of people like come out of the whole, I went on reality TV a mess and I made it out even better. Very few people.
And there's a lot of people who are genuinely successful beforehand. You can't even really count them because they already had success before the show. So the people that we just heard about on the show, the only people that really have done all that great afterwards was K Michelle and Cardi B.
Yeah.
Those are the only two I could think of that pops out at me where...
Right. But they had a plan. Like, okay, I'm going on this show to do A, B, and C, and they did it. As opposed to, you know what, I'm about to go get me some money, and I'm about to do this, and it like, you just look like you're on the show for a storyline to be a part of drama.
Yeah, I think K. Michelle was a mix, though.
Yeah.
Because she likes to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Because now she's going to be on Hip Hop Hollywood.
Right. Which I'm like, okay. Because she always says, like, I'm never coming back no more because all you do is exploit me, Mona. And then next season, she's popping up somewhere. Which leads me to believe that, yeah, you are doing good with your music career, but whatever Mona is paying you is better.
Really, really good.
You know. But Callis, at this point, can say, Mona, I love you, but fuck your check. I'm not going back.
Right?
I don't think K. Michelle can.
No.
Because I'm like, you've actively said on several different occasions at different time periods, I will never go back. And even after you've gotten your own spinoff show, you still pop up in New York, now on Hollywood. Yep. So, you know. But I mean, get your money. And, you know, do you.
I think a lot of people be interested in her storyline because she got all the silicone removed from her ass. So at least it's a storyline that's not directly tied to any of the other cast members. It's like her own personal journey. Yeah. I feel like that's the only reason why this season, her being on Hollywood, it's like, oh, I feel like people would be more interested in it. Yeah. It's not just drama with other bitches. Right. Her trying to get in fights.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
It's like,
no, it's like a legit story because, I mean, obviously it has a lot to do with self-image, self-worth, self-love, health. Yeah. Because she did a lot for health reasons. And now when I see her, it's like, I'm still trying to get used to seeing her without it. Right. But she just looks so good.
Yes. And speaking of look so good, and I never talk about these people, but Kylie Jenner, girl, you look good.
She does.
Your lips look so good. Which honestly leads me to believe that even when you were 16, 17, and your lips was really, really like not there, which leads me to believe that maybe had you would have let puberty finishing what it was supposed to do, you probably would have never needed fillers. And the only reason I give you a little bit of a pass is because sadly you are a part of a family where your looks are
what gets your money.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but people are cold-blooded and they're heartless. So you would have been referred to as like, oh, the Kardashian with no lips, or
she would have been the ugly one.
Yeah, you would have been the ugly duckling. So as far as your lips, I always did understand because I was like, that's probably a big insecurity. And she did talk about when she was a teenager, and she was like, first time she kissed a boy with tongue, he was like, wow, you have no lips. This feels really weird. And I'm like, I can imagine as a kid with something like that, you'd be like, I need to fix this. Plump me up. But I'm glad, like, you look good.
You look better.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say cute.
Right. You look better.
But yeah, so I was like, you look completely, and it changes the whole structure of her face.
You look like a young kid again.
True.
Like, you don't look
especially like with her hair short and black. Yeah. And she just looks regular.
Yeah. And then I seen this meme, like, Kylie Jenner got all her fillers taken out now. Everybody who done went and got fucking lip implants looking like Snooki. Like, you look ridiculous. But you always did look ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Like, I was just looking at Snooki on that show, like, and then she was like, you know, you said something about my lips, and you don't say that. If you look a hot mess, I'm gonna say it. It does not look good on you. Like,
I think every girl on the show, except for Dina got stuff done to their face.
Yeah, and I'm like, it don't look good.
Oh, that's celebrity news. She's pregnant.
I know. Congrats.
I don't think we mentioned that last week.
Good for her.
But yeah, back to Kylie, that, you know, it's a rarity that B will actually want to talk about it. But no, I did see, I'm like, you know what, good for her. Maybe she can start to just, I don't know. It's just this thing. I don't know if it's not just celebrity. It's just in the world, period, where you have 17, 18-year-old girls, young women trying to look like they're 30. Like, you
Yeah.
can't even tell that they're 15, 16, 17 years old.
I'm like, on people's Instagram and social media, I'm like, these 16-year-olds did not look the way I looked when I was 16. And it's not even body-wise, because I was 16 with, like, a double D cup.
I would have some big boobs,
it's in
too.
the face. Like, you just don't... I was not I wasn't allowed, like, 16 years old, face full of makeup and...
I was going to say, yeah, we didn't have to worry about makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, hair was like braids, cornrows.
Yeah.
Like, there was no necessity of having a full lace wig.
When people did have weaves, it was really like special occasion, like a dance, is
graduation,
coming up.
birthday.
Right. You know, everybody had their prom after dues up. Like, it was no... And when people did get weaves, it was like, okay, cool. But it wasn't like every single girl and... They
Looks exactly
20
the same.
inches.
Yeah.
It was like at most you'd see somebody like 14.
It was just to, like, you know, be a little bit different than your normal look, but
Yeah.
not to have this one manufacturer assembly line look of all these women. That, like, every time you see a woman, especially on social media, they look the same.
Yeah, and it's
Long
like
hair.
you've gotten something done. That's the sad part. It's like 95%, it's like you look like you just got off a plastic surgery table.
And it used to be where we'd never really heard of black women getting plastic surgery.
Not that, no.
Like, it was unheard of for
Yeah.
black women to have plastic
And
surgery.
touching their face and it, nope.
Especially touching their face. That's like
Yeah.
the last thing. And then I don't know who, what, when, where it started to be to where having a fat ass was the best thing to have.
Yeah.
And mind you, black women aren't even necessarily not curvy.
Yeah.
It's just that you want this massive amount of ass.
Yeah, and this little ass shape, and it's like, wait.
It's not even... I saw my friend comment on one of the pictures where it said Masika hot or not. And she was like, the same suction tummy tuck stomach
Right.
that everybody has.
And your belly button's all off. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's I mean, granted, I'm not an advocate for plastic surgery, but I feel like, you know, if it's your own individual journey and you feel like you want to change something or whatever, then cool.
Right.
But when it comes to having plastic surgery
And
to
following
look
trends.
like, yes, and following the trends of other people,
Right.
that's where it gets to be a problem. Biggest example, K. Michelle.
Yeah.
She went about it the absolute wrong way.
Yeah.
And it wind up affecting her health. So I just feel like, for me, you know, once I lose all this weight, I'll probably get my arms done.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's no way this is going to go away with
Yeah.
this exercise or whatever. But that's just because I'm trying to, you know, lose weight. And then, you know, it's kind of like a reward to myself. I'm not trying to follow this whole trend and get a tummy tuck BBL.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody else is getting it. And then now it kind of fucks up with everybody, all the women who are naturally curvy.
Yeah.
And people just like, oh, you're fake, you're fake, you're fake. It's like, no. Like,
Yeah.
this is literally from my mama. Like, I
Right.
don't need surgery. So now you can't really tell
Yeah.
who's real, who's not, you know.
Yeah.
The thighs can match and people can still be like, nope, it's surgery. It's surgery.
Right.
It's surgery.
Yeah, I saw a post where people were saying Trina's ass was fake. It was like, where have you been? Like, no.
Her...
No.
Okay, let's be real. Trina's ass is not even big.
Yeah, it was like, no. Because she was twerking with Keisha Kaur. And they were like, you know the asses is fake when they don't move. It's like, or she's just like dancing, having fun, not really trying to do too much. But either way, it was like, no, that's not what that means.
She's proportionate from head to toe.
Yeah.
Like, she's... Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's because she was like... Back in the day, she was wearing like booty shorts and stuff. But she was really skinny back then.
Yeah.
Some women just changed. Did she have any kids?
No.
But yeah, even when you have some women who have kids, they will be a stick. And I have a friend who was a stick when we were in middle school and high school. As soon as she had that baby, she got all the thighs and ass in the world. Like, so you can't, I get annoyed seeing both sides of it.
Yeah.
Trying to look like all the other bitches and then trying to be yourself and you get claimed as one of those other bitches.
Yeah.
And I'm just over here enjoying my fat ass in the corner. Like, that's all you. That's all y'all. Mm-hmm. Anyway, moving on. I saw an article that Phaedra might be coming back. Now, I can't take this source as true because it says, quote unquote, media takeout confirmed it. I can't confirm. No one can confirm anything for media takeout. I'm sorry. But it says that I guess you can call it a rumor. This came out today. That she'll be coming back. And they finalized it on Monday, which was yesterday. How would you feel if she went back?
I don't really care what direction the show takes at this point, but I mean, I could see why people would want her back. I mean, they brought Kim Zolciak back for a season, so I mean, I'm still a little bit I don't know. Kind of unsure of why they even fired her in the first place. I mean, I know they said the rumor or whatever was, a really big thing. But then I also heard, it was edited out of the reunion that she heard it from a producer on the show. So that's what made them be like, you snitched on production, you're fired. Which, I
feel like that makes more sense, the producer part, than anything else.
Right.
Because if all these people could put hands on each other, they don't fire them. I don't see why they necessarily fire
Right,
her.
And y'all show is basically somewhat based off of people talking about rumors and allegations against each other. So this one against Candy being so bad to where Phaedra was fired, I never really saw what the big deal was. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it'll be good to have her back on. Her little one-liners. So.
Yeah, she was good with the one-liners. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows.
Yep.
So we'll see. I mean, they're saying that she claimed she did the confirmation on her live stream. So I guess that's what's happening.
Yeah, I still keep hearing multiple things about if Kenya has been fired or not. I'm like, I'm not even going to look into it. I'll just wait and see.
I keep hearing yes, no, then she will come out and be like, if I was really fired, I would be telling y'all. And it's like...
No, you wouldn't, but okay.
That's pretty much
right. You'd be spinning it to be like, you quit. But...
She implied, like, or insinuated, you can't fire me, because She was like, even with her not being on the trip episodes, when where did they go? Somewhere in Europe. She's like, it still wasn't higher ratings than when I was on there.
Like, but you do understand that, like, but you didn't say, like, the other episodes. I mean, if it was an uneventful trip or, whatever, then okay, but was it...
It definitely wasn't uneventful.
I don't remember.
But I feel like, of course, you bring views, but why you bring views is a whole different situation. Plus, she has this whole thing of, she's not wanting production to record anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if you don't want to record anything, we're not going to do nothing with you.
Yeah. Like, girl, you're not Asa. You don't get to dictate what can and cannot be filmed and still have your spot on the show.
Yeah. So. I saw her boyfriend, Asa's boyfriend, like, once.
Yeah.
Out of 6 seasons or so. Yeah. And she's not even, like, on the next season that's coming up. She's... pretty much a friend to the show, and you see her like here and there, but she made an announcement on her Instagram like, y'all, we still private as fuck, so we're not even really going to be on the show because we don't want our kid in front of the camera.
Very understandable.
But that seems more, like, okay, cool, we understand. Then can you be like, I don't want y'all to film, but I want y'all to film. Like, it's true. Just like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
Also, her boyfriend never really wanted to film.
Right.
And you only really saw him that first season. Like, she talked about them.
Yeah.
But, and it just kind of kept their relationship off the show, which they've been together for a long-ass time. Like, 10 years or something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just think it's weird that you want to film but not film.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Because you keep lying to production about what's going on, and then it goes on, social media that, oh, she got married, oh, this, oh, that. And then it's like, bitch, we asked you X, Y, and Z, and you said no. And then they get fined for certain stuff, too.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So I guess we'll wait until the official trailer or poster or whatever is out to see who's holding a peach and who's not.
I think they just started filming.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because it usually comes on in November.
Yeah.
So, and I think they start filming like 3 to 4 months before it's supposed to air. Because they've filmed for a while. Like, half a year, really.
Jesus.
That's a long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't do it, reality shows. But anyway, moving on. So the new season of Real Housewives of Orange County is starting very, very, very soon. And there are 2 new housewives. One named Gina, and I don't know the other one. But anyway, we're going to be talking about Gina. Gina already has filed for divorce from her husband. And it's like the show hasn't even aired with her on it yet. So obviously we're going to see that unfold on the show unless her husband didn't want to film.
Yeah.
So that's the only time we might be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. These housewife shows they're tricky because it's more geared towards your personal life. So you're forced to have to put your personal life out there even more. And if there's cracks or it's little stuff that's going on, they're going to do whatever they can to amplify it. So it just, It's like you either join a reality show where your personal life doesn't have to be the main part of your show or of your storyline, or that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's saying here that he travels a lot, and it basically made her like a single mom. She's a mom of 3, and she filed for divorce in April of 2018, which is definitely when the show was recording. So, like I said, I don't know unless it's on the show, then we're not going to see it. But just kind of proves to saying, like, the show is never really the reason why people get divorces. It just magnifies all the problems that they do have.
Yep. And then you're around other women that part of their storyline is finding problems in your life and talking about it.
Right?
So so he's not here for this. He's not here for that. Oh, he's always gone. I bet you he's on the road with somebody else. And I bet it just, So it sucks, but we should be probably hearing about it.
Yeah. And then it said that the pressures of the show also place additional strain on their already disintegrating marriage.
Yeah. Because then it's like, think about it. You do come home from traveling for 2-3 days. You got a house full of cameras in your house. You got people wanting you to talk about stuff that you don't want to talk about. It's, Yeah.
Because it's like you can't really focus 100% on what you're going to do in your relationship and in your marriage because you have to work. Literally, you have to work. So, of course, they don't film all day, every day. They definitely do have schedules and times and stuff.
Yeah.
But, because obviously they have to get there, set up, put their little lights and all that, wherever they're going to go. But it can be a full-time job, and then you go on this trip. I don't know when they really started the trip on all these shows, but they have that. I know they went to Mexico, and I feel like they went somewhere else, based on social media or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was the one I felt like she was annoying because she did jazz hands. I forgot who I was telling. I was like, oh, spirit figure? I said, no. Not spirit figure. Full on jazz hands. She's from like Long Island or whatever.
Yeah.
The other one, I forgot her name. She's like an attorney. So, which is different because besides Vicky on Orange County, no one else really has had like, I don't want to say a desk job because that's not correct. But like a office position. I know Tamara was in real estate for a little bit, but now she has her gym.
Yeah.
She's gym owner with her husband, Eddie. Shannon, did she ever say what she did? No, I don't
Just that she went to USC.
Oh, of course. And because I know her husband did like construction and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she ever really... I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't mentioned.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. None of them really mentioned a whole bunch of stuff.
When
Lori was on there, she was working it for Vicky at one point.
Yeah.
But anywho, so moving on to the actual shows, I kind of wanted to touch base with, and I totally forgot to put this on my list. But I don't know if you were keeping up with Basketball Wives. But I want to talk about one specific issue, which we all know about because we've been hearing about it for the past 2 episodes.
Yeah.
This whole situation between Evelyn and Tammy. So, Tammy and Ev been going button heads since Miami days. Since Tammy first walked in that restaurant and said hello and said she had to go to the bathroom. It was this whole, I don't know her. I don't know what she wearing, her weave, her wig, or whatever. Yeah. What's a food stamp? I don't know what a food stamp looked like. Oh, you slept with my husband. They got in a fight while Tammy had a cigarette in her hand. Yep. You know, they just been going at it since day one, back and forth. But I feel like this point right now has been the worst because now they're like going low blows towards each other.
Yeah.
And it all started off with this rumor that apparently is a year old.
Yeah.
But for some reason it was being brought up.
Yeah.
Now. Which I don't understand why it's being brought up in the first place.
Yeah. I'm like, if I know something and I don't want to be the messenger of that, I'm never going to say anything. Even when you find out, I'm going to act shocked right along with you. If I don't want to be the messenger, I'm never going to be the messenger. But it's a show. So here, come on with the storyline. But
what makes it worse is because, according to what I watched, Tammy is the one that brought it up.
Yeah.
And she's trying to put it on Jen because Jen was the one who presented it to Tammy.
She started the rumor, but Tammy was the one that brought it up to
a year later.
Yeah.
So I'm confused as to why why is Tammy bringing it up in the first place.
Yeah.
Because Evelyn made a good point. Like, if you knew a year ago, why didn't you tell her then? Why didn't want to tell her and, like, you know, hurt her feelings? It's like, well, why did you mention it now? That's the part I'm confused about. Like, of course, everything after it came and some pretty shitty things were said on both sides.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to figure out why Tammy went. Is it because she doesn't like the fact that Evelyn and Jen are friends again?
Right.
Even that is still not her business. So why can't she just... Yeah. You be like, you know what? I don't like both of y'all bitches.
Right.
I don't need y'all energy around me. I'm over here trying to get these coins, these checks, get my health together, whatever the case may be. I got my man. I got my family. Y'all not adding any value to my life. What is the point of bringing up something that's trying to destroy Evelyn and Jen?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, I wouldn't have said nothing.
I wouldn't have either.
Yeah.
Especially if it's been already over a year.
Because it's like, well, what reason did you not say anything initially versus now.
And why do you want to say it's just going to hurt as much, if not more, because now she knows y'all been knowing this for a year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so, of course, everything's been put on Jen because Jen heard the rumor, repeated it to Tammy when Jen and Evelyn weren't being friends, which happens. Honestly, me personally, if I know something about somebody, whether it's a rumor or I know it to be true, I don't have time to be telling nobody business, because once I'm done with somebody, I'm done with somebody. I don't need to go out of my way to try to make them look bad to other people, because that means I'm still thinking about them when they probably ain't even thinking about me. I don't have time.
But in their case, if I was Jen, I wouldn't have sat on it. If you really thought it was a rumor, I would have just told Shani. And even if it was like, well, I heard it, and, because I heard Evelyn. Well, Evelyn did a lot of shit to you. So I understand you being like, you know what? This is my chance to get you back without me having to put my hands on you, because you don't fight.
She doesn't.
But for about a whole 6 months, every time Evelyn saw you, she was running over tables, trying to fight you, throwing stuff at you at Shani's birthday party, trying to fight you. So I would understand why. It was messy for you. You didn't know if it was a rumor or if it was true. And then you went and you tried to get several other people involved in the telling.
That's
Shani
the part that's
rumor.
fucked up, because
I'm like, now had you heard it and just been like, Shani, I'm calling you. Guess what I heard? I would have understood it, because you would have been like, well, A, I'm looking out for Shani, and B, I don't like that bitch Evelyn. So what loyalty or tie do I have to protect her in a secret? But yeah, the whole manipulating and going behind, trying to bring other people in to tell Shani because you don't want to be the.
That's the part that's If she would have went directly to Shani as soon as she heard about it, it would have been more like, it would have been perceived more as a friend,
right?
Telling me about what's going on about somebody that she doesn't like. Of course, I'm gonna be like, well, yeah, you're telling me you don't like the bitch, but at least you're coming to me now and telling me what's out on the streets and stuff like that. And you're being direct. And you're like, yes. I don't know if it's the truth. Don't quote me. I didn't start it, but I heard of a rumor, which means could be not. But Evelyn fucked your ex-husband. But you kind of didn't do that. You just... That's the part where I feel like she was letting someone she didn't like anymore still remain in her mention.
Right.
Because she wanted to get 5 million people into it. And guess what? Every time you tell a person... That's you talking about that person all over again. We don't know how long the conversation was. It could have been an hour. It could have been 15 minutes. But it's like an hour 5 times.
Yeah.
So it's like you keep talking about it. It's like, just stop talking about it.
Yep.
Like, you got your coins, right? You got your alimony, right? You had your new man at the time, right? So... why do you have to tell all these people to continue having this conversation? Mind you, she said a year ago.
Yeah.
They haven't been talking for 5 years.
Yeah.
So that means even 4 years later, you're still going around to all these people talking.
Yeah.
So who really has the problem here?
Yeah.
Between Jen and Evelyn.
Right. Which, of course, it would be Jen because, she called you all types of bitches and tried to fight you on multiple occasions. So she's fine. You're the one that's holding in the fact that, like, damn, all I did was say Ocho Cinco ain't a good fit for her and she just turned on me. But...
right, I mean, she can turn on you and for me personally, I just know that you were never really my friend because I've had a situation where I had to let a friend go. And I don't have to do that often. Yeah. I'm a pretty good judge of character. But sometimes when you get really, really close to people, i.e. living with them, you can really like, oh, you really a bitch. Like, I've never saw this type of person. So, you know what? So if you can live with somebody, everything's cool. Y'all can remain friends afterwards. And it's like, okay, cool. Or do stuff like watch your kids or, things that really, really matter in a friendship that not a lot of people can do. That you can kind of... it's like kind of like a test of whether they're truly your good friend or not.
Yeah.
So the fact that you were being honest and just say, I don't think they're a good fit, which is, I don't see anything really wrong with that, I guess. But then again, I don't know if there were other things said off camera.
According to Evelyn, it would... Well, I guess looking back, Evelyn knew her relationship was full of shit. So she was in the mode of anybody say anything again. Yeah, that's really what it was.
Well,
That,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember even when she played the interview, it was like, she didn't insult him. She didn't say anything bad about you. She just said, when they first got together, I was like, oh my God. Like,
it was awkward.
I don't think it's a good fit for her. And now look at you with the bruise that will never leave.
Ooh. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, but that being said, I feel like Tammy's in the wrong for even bringing up the whole situation in the first fucking place.
Yeah, I'm like,
this is going over 3 fucking episodes.
Right. Because even had you would have not brought it up and they wanted to be like, well, Tammy knew and she didn't say nothing and I still ain't said shit. You could have at least used that to your advantage. Like, I didn't say nothing and I was never going to say nothing. Because A, I didn't know if it was true or not. And B, it wasn't my place to tell. But because you opened the can of worms...
And then it's like, you might know Evelyn to sleep with people's husband, but do you know Shaq to go and sleep with somebody like Evelyn?
I mean, he slept with Superhead.
While he was married?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Girl, read the book.
I don't care to read the book.
Oh, yeah, you've missed out. But yeah, yeah, that would just be, I mean, can't completely say it's not out of Evelyn's character, but that was a bit outrageous. Like, wait, what? But then I can understand if she did do it, why Shawnee would never find out if she had the chance. But it was just weird. I think. But
then a year ago, so it just makes it all awkward because I don't know.
I think Tammy she would have not said anything, then.
I think she was just trying to stir some type of pot, and I don't understand what was her motive behind it. Like, yes, we know that you don't like Evelyn. You haven't liked her since the first time you walked in that restaurant. We all know that. What was the point of even bringing it up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then now they're going back and forth, calling each other liars between Tammy and Evelyn, between Tammy and Jen. And then because she was called a liar, then she brings up this whole thing about, well, Evelyn lied on Chad.
Yeah.
With the whole domestic violence. And really mocking her as being a victim of domestic violence and blah, 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 blah. And then all this stuff resurfaced back from when it first happened because you have some people who feel more on Tammy's side, like, well, bitch, you was always trying to fight people, so that's kind of what you get.
Yeah.
But then you have people on the other side, like, well, yeah, she got in fights with people, but that doesn't mean she still deserves her ass beat by her husband.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's bringing all that stuff up again.
Yeah.
And then retaliation, Evelyn over here talking about, well, you looking like a crackhead, you candlesticks in the wind, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, now Tammy is mad because she's like, well, I'm doing it for my health. Like, I look fine. I'm a diabetic. That's kind of fucked up. Yeah, I have a fucked up walk because I have diabetic nerve pain.
Yeah.
So I can't feel my feet sometimes. So she walks a certain type of way. So it's like, okay, well, all this wouldn't have happened if Tammy didn't just open her mouth.
Yep.
Let's be real. Let's go back to the source of why this even came up in the first place.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have Jen over here trying to lie on you and throw you under the bus as you the person that brought up the rumor.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have the situation where Evelyn was talking about you and your health and what you look like.
Yeah.
And then she would have been saved from saying anything about the whole situation between Evelyn and Chad, knowing that's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
So, yes, she was always trying to fight people, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like when it comes to domestic, I just don't say nothing at all.
Yeah.
just
right. I don't like it. I don't even want to be friends with nobody who's in a domestic violence situation. Because I'm like, me as a person, I'm like, how do I handle that? Because
you feel like you want to handle it.
Yeah, but I can't handle it.
No.
Because me trying to help you could probably result in you getting killed. Or me getting killed. Or making your situation worse. So it's like, I can't sit here and talk to you and like you got black eyes. And then 2 days later, you and your boyfriend or husband are in my house. And I'm forced to just like
pretend like everything's okay.
I'm like, I can't do that. So, yeah, that's just one of those things you don't play with. You don't. Even if you do feel something is up or it didn't add up. I mean, you know Evelyn and was around them more than the public was. So you might have actually seen something that was like, I don't know. But you don't.
I mean, at the end of the day, he did come out publicly and said that he did it, said he was wrong.
Yeah.
So he had to take domestic violence classes and stuff like that. So it's like, why bring this up now?
Yeah.
The whole domestic violence stuff. And then you're still like, oh, she acts like she's a victim and blah, blah, blah. She lied on him. She told me back then that it was a mistake and only that he only had better her because they were wrestling over a box of condoms. It wasn't out. It's like, once again, this is a touchy subject and you were not there.
Yeah. I mean, unless you got her on record or something saying that where you can play it back, you don't.
It just makes you look like an asshole.
Yeah. You just don't even say nothing.
Right. And now she's in a scene with Jackie, which, oh my God, who knew that this would be the first season I really fell in love with Jackie? Jackie's been calm.
Yeah.
She's been level-headed.
Yeah.
She hasn't really, called a whole bunch of people bitches.
Yeah.
She's been, even with Evelyn's situation, she's been really like, which is crazy being that even with her situation with her daughter Takari and Evelyn, she still has some sympathy and empathy for Evelyn in her domestic violence situation.
Yeah.
Which says a lot because she can be like, well, that bitch tried to get in my business about my shit, so I don't give a fuck about her.
Right.
She could, but she's not. And it's gotten to the point where now Evelyn and Jackie can be in the same space.
Yeah.
And speak and be cordial and things of that nature. And that took a good 2 seasons to get resolved. So, but yeah, she's with Jackie crying like ever since day one. I've been trying to be nice with these bitches, trying to be friends with these bitches, and she's over here talking about my walk, and that's because I have diabetic nerve pain, and yes, I had to lose weight, get my health together because of I'm a diabetic and blah blah blah. And then it's like, I understand all of that, but I also don't understand why she's trying so hard to be friends with somebody with people who clearly don't want to be friends with her.
Right. Or they're only your friend when it's convenient. Because I can honestly tell. I'm like, Shawnee likes you, but I feel like if she would have to choose, she would choose to hang around Evelyn.
Yeah.
And that's nothing really against Tammy, but I guess maybe because since Evelyn wasn't on the show, and let's just be real, Tammy coming back kind of saved Basketball Wives, especially after Drea left.
Right.
So it was like, oh, Tammy and Shawnee. And then when it was that season where it was them against, Brandy, it was like, oh, okay, but yeah, I think that's where you just got to be like, okay, on camera we are cool, but once they yell cut, I'm going about my day, and you just aren't in it. Like,
see, I feel like she's been doing that well with other women, but for some reason, when it comes to Evelyn, I feel like she still tries.
Yeah.
Why try? You didn't try with any other person you felt like was being a bitch and wasn't about your space and time and energy.
I feel like,
left it alone.
I feel like she did up until, like, the end of last season.
Did what?
Like, would try. Because even at the last reunion, when John Sally was like, okay, so all this is squashed. Are you guys friends? And Evelyn was like, I'd say we're friends. And Tammy was like, well, maybe. You know, we always off and on. And it's like, I feel like Tammy and Evelyn are just two people that's like, we don't really like each other. And no matter how much they try to come back together and be cool, it just, for some reason or another, it just always doesn't work with them.
But I feel like Tammy's more emotionally affected by it than Evelyn is.
Yeah.
Because when she was sitting down with Jackie, she's crying. Like, from the beginning, I've been trying with these bitches, and all they do is talk about me and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, if that's how you felt, and you felt like it's from the beginning, then what is the point of keep trying over and over and over again? They're not adding anything to your life. Yeah. So what is the point? Yeah. There's no point. Mm-hmm. So that's part. I mean, yes, Evelyn is trying too, but obviously she ain't losing no sleep if she ain't friends with Tammy. She's not going to cry any tears if she's not friends with Tammy, or feel like she's been trying to be friends with Tammy all this time and it just doesn't want to work. Yeah. So if it's really affecting her that bad, she just should have left it a long, long time ago.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like they did. I think it just wasn't brought back up until Evelyn came back on the show and they were forced to re-interact with each other.
Yeah, but then again, she brought up the whole Kenny thing again.
Yeah, because
it's like she keeps going backwards to stuff that happened 3, 4, 5 seasons ago.
That whole storyline, that's why I'm like, production, y'all really need to get y'all editing together mixed with facts, because I'm like, the last season, when Evelyn was on the show before she left, they were on really good terms with each other. And then when it ended, when Evelyn decided not to come back, she had did an interview. And she basically had said, like, you know, I don't have a personal problem with Tammy, but I feel like where we are, like, we're not friends, and that's okay. She's going one way, and I'm going the other. Mm. And then fast forward to when they came back last season, Tammy was like, well, all these years, I thought we were cool up until you had did a radio interview saying that we aren't friends and we never will be friends. And Evelyn was like, I never said that. And I'm like, I remember you did say that, because I was like, I wonder what happened between them. But Evelyn never came back on Basketball Wives. So then Tammy played it for her, and she was like, oh, well, I did say that. But then Tammy was like, but I am still mad at you because of this home wrecking thing. I'm like, but it just doesn't add up. And yeah, that's when I was just like, okay.
What adds up? That's why I'm confused.
Nothing adds up about why they have this issue with each other from last season to 3 seasons ago before Evelyn left.
I don't think it was an issue. Evelyn's not as emotionally involved in them having a friendship as Tammy. So when Tammy's sitting here minding her own business, thinking that they cool, even though they're not really talking, in her mind, they're on cool terms. So when you hear an interview like, nah, we're not friends and we never will be friends, she's going to take offense to that. And then that's going to bring up all this other shit.
I didn't finish.
Okay.
Before Evelyn came back on Basketball Wives as a main character, it was a seasoning, one of those seasons, Shawnee, Tammy, and they had met up in LA. I think that's when they kind of did the transition to LA full time. Yeah. And they went to Evelyn's house. And all 3 of them were, it was like the first episode. And I think it was when Evelyn first moved back out. Mm-hmm. And I guess they tried to
from
be
Houston.
like, like, okay, Evelyn's not coming back. And they were all girls' time, brunch, having a good time. Mm-hmm. Everything was good. And that's why when she came back, Evelyn, a lot of people were confused because they were like, we just saw y'all 2 seasons ago on really good terms and everything was good. Now all of a sudden y'all are bringing up stuff way before as to why y'all aren't cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the storyline for me as to why they're not even cool, I'm just like, I don't
The storyline's fucked up because Evelyn's a mean girl. That's just happens with mean girls. You don't understand what happened. You don't know what turned into what. You can have a bitch over one day and she's talking about your mom's vintage plaid skirt. Like it is what it is. She's just a mean girl. Let's be real. So of course, that's what I'm saying. Tammy thinks it's okay. But when they do their little TV interviews, or when she did her little interview and said, they're not really friends, of course Tammy's going to feel offended. And she's like, bitch, this is the same shit that we had to deal with back when the Kenny shit happened, or back when X, Y, and Z happened. And then that whole situation with Jackie and her daughter and the GoFundMe, Tammy did put herself in that. Mm-hmm. She did talk to Jackie a whole bunch of times about how Evelyn is as a person, and she did X, Y, and Z. I have receipts. Like, she really put herself in that situation, too.
Yeah.
Tammy is too emotionally involved in a mean girl.
Yeah.
And she keeps getting her feelings hurt.
Yeah.
So if she can't identify that this grown woman is a mean girl, then you keep putting yourself in these situations. So we never are going to understand why it even got this way. I don't think it's a production issue. I don't think it's anything of that. I just think Evelyn's a mean girl.
Yeah.
Like, you can't come into my clubhouse, and if you want to get in, you have to go through hazing. It's just that the hazing takes 8 years.
Yeah. Bless their hearts.
Yeah. I just feel like
I'm not watching y'all bitches for 8 more years do this shit.
I just feel like Tam just needs to let it go. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Evelyn just feel like she ain't losing no sleep over this whole situation. Every time she gets mad at Evelyn for something she did do because of something that didn't happen, she gets in her feelings and then she attacks really horribly. And then it makes her look like an asshole.
Yeah.
So it's like to keep from people thinking that you're an asshole because you want to talk about somebody's domestic violence situation, just leave the shit alone.
Yeah.
They're both at fault for me.
Yeah.
I would have been let go.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we can move on. That's the only thing I really want to talk about that show, because it was just really confusing as to why Tammy is so emotionally involved in trying to have the world view Evelyn in a certain type of way when she can just let it speak for herself. Like, just let it'll come out. Maybe not the time that you want it to be, but it will eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, moving on. Talked about that for quite some time. To Real Housewives of Potomac.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really starting to get annoyed by Candace every episode.
Yeah.
She's too much of the word that she hates being called, a princess.
Yeah.
And when they were in Paris, they were, Monique was talking about the situation with her husband, how they got in an argument before they went to Paris. And her and Giselle kind of got in the heart-to-heart because they both dealt with high-profile men, one athlete, one pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Candace comes in, that's kind of the situation with me and my husband, because, he's not, like a pastor or athlete, but, I'm in the spotlight, I'm a pageant girl, and blah, blah, blah. And then she started busting up laughing.
Yeah.
And she gets mad when people don't take her seriously or what she says seriously. Yeah. But what she thinks is a problem shouldn't be a problem. So that's why people don't take it seriously, because it's like what you think is a problem really isn't.
Yeah.
So your husband calling you a princess shouldn't warrant you calling him a reflection of his deadbeat daddy. Now you're just trying to be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And you want him to hurt, but it's like, why are you hurt being called a princess anyway?
Yeah.
Would you rather be hurt by it, or will you want to wear your crown proudly?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bitch, I am a princess. Now go give me my grapes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do if y'all gonna call me a princess.
Right.
I'm not gonna take offense to that. Like, you are doing all these princess qualities. Even Kendall was like, well, I've only met you for 1 or 2 times, and I feel like you're a princess. Like, it's not that big of a deal. That's not something you get angry about.
Nuh-uh.
Get angry because your baby had your man had a baby on you. Be mad because somebody was stealing money from you while you were trying to build your business. These are the things that are real life problems. So of course they're gonna laugh at you because you're not really saying anything that really matters, and you want to talk to somebody, but these people don't relate to you.
Yeah.
Boo-boo. They're not going to relate to you. And this whole situation with Ashley is usually the person who wants to get in people's business, but I feel Giselle's really, really getting in there this season.
Yeah.
They made Monique, while she was in Paris, decided to stop at some perfume place, which she thought was going to be nice for Karen because she's trying to have a perfume line or whatever, which is cool. And Karen made it very apparent, like, oh, I appreciate that, blah, blah, blah. That's really nice. You didn't have to do that. This is your trip for your birthday. And Giselle's just going in. So what's going on with your product line? Like, what's going on with you? What stage are you in? Oh, you wasn't excited. You weren't as excited as you should have been to go to the perfume place. She was like, well, mine's American made. I don't really need to do it. She's like, but you want to learn everything you need to learn. It's like, why are you so invested in somebody else's stuff?
That's why if I was Karen, I would keep doing what I'm doing. I'm either going to tell you a bullshit stuff or the lies don't add up, but I'm not confiding in you because history have shown, like, when you just give any of them like an inch to be like, okay, this is what's going on. You either joke about it or you then try to dissect what I say and be like, well, that don't add up because A plus B don't equal C. And it's like, you know what? Y'all are not in any of my business. And then even when Karen does tell them, you need to mind your business, like somehow they just feel like they
don't need to.
They're entitled to know, which I'm like, I've had friends for 15 years and I don't feel entitled to know anything about your life. Like, I don't know.
Hell, there's still stuff I'm finding out about friends these days that I've been knowing for 15 years.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Yeah. I'm like, you're not entitled to tell me anything. Like,
and I'm not entitled to know everything.
Yeah. If it's not concerning me,
then I'm going to hit you with, why didn't you tell me you broke up with Sherman?
Yeah. Right. You didn't really tell anybody that. But.
So, I mean, all of them don't tell everybody everything because they don't feel like they need to know everything. But everybody feels like they need to know. Honestly, no, Karen and Monique and now Candace are probably the least likely to ask you about what's true and what's not, or fake about your life.
Yeah.
The other ones, they will try to ask you and try to prove you to be a liar. And it's like, okay, so let's say she is lying. How does that benefit you?
You can say she's a liar. But it's like, okay, like, you don't get an award. Like, is there a Bravo bonus that you get for sifting through a lie or something?
I wonder if they do give
truth?
bonuses, because then that would make a lot of sense for everybody being in everybody's business. Right.
Because
it's not normal. It's not normal, a grown woman behavior.
Yeah. Because even if you tell me something and I'm like, I know this don't add up, I'm just going to take it and be like, it don't add up, note it in my head, and go about my business. I'm not going to sit here, unless it's something that concerns me, I'm not going to press you about it. I'm just going to be like, you're lying, but next, let's go to brunch. I'm not going to press you about your business because you're not obligated to tell me.
Be like Trina, it's not my business.
Yeah. Plain and simple.
That is her business. Mm-hmm. Let me move on. And not try to be, I don't know, I just don't really, I mean, in a normal world, pulling people's energies and problems into your own is, like, not ideal.
Yeah. Because
that's just a whole bunch of drama for no reason.
Yeah.
And then that's why you got all these upset husbands, because they feel like you were putting yourself into other people's drama way too much when you shouldn't be. Like, unless it's, like, your sister or... Even that there's a line that's drawn when you become married and y'all both are married. You have families that you guys have to take care of. Like, you kind of have to, prioritize what you want to deal with and what you want to be a part of.
And then some people are just secretive.
True.
Like, I think I'd get criticized more for not asking before I'm criticized for asking too much. Because I'm just like... Well, if you want to talk about it, I'm here. But I'm not going to press you to talk.
That is my, like,
So it would come off as Roberta don't care before it's you all in my business, if anything.
True. I mean, yeah, would you rather be known as somebody who's always in... Would you rather be a Carly Red?
Right.
Or would you rather be a Trina?
Right. Or a good Mimi. I'll just sit here and eat while you
Mimi did nothing but mind her business and got a check this season.
Right.
And I think she was happy with that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not really in no drama this season.
Right. Jocelyn's not around fucking with me. Like, yeah,
that's really the only reason why she has such a big storyline is because of Jocelyn. She wasn't really... her whole... Since the first season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, her storyline always has something to deal with Jocelyn more than Stevie. Because her and Stevie, they might get annoyed with each other, but when there's not a female involved, they're pretty much fine.
Yeah.
So, and then, I mean, she got along with Estelita, so, and that was a female involved with Stevie, so it really was just the whole Jocelyn thing. I mean, Jocelyn thing.
Yeah, Jocelyn, and then the Nico thing.
Right.
Yeah, but besides that, she's now just... I'll just sit back and watch y'all make an ass of yourself on TV.
That clip of her eating a burrito is just
I've
the
done my time.
thing.
Mona has exploited me. She'll get very little out of me going forward.
I hope that remains. I mean, she's had little problems with her friend and her girlfriend, but that's nowhere near... I mean, she's still a full-time cast member, so at the end of the day, she's not really gonna... I just feel like it is a lot better with Jocelyn being gone. I mean, she was just... It was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. God bless their souls. Because I'm like, I got to find another stream of income because I don't even personally deal with this woman, but just dealing with her is a lot.
I'm surprised Mimi even stayed on the show that long.
Yeah.
Especially her trying to fight everybody. And
right.
Look, she got through the whole season, no fights, just observing them.
Mm-hmm.
Being a safari, eating her food while people throw hands.
Best way to be.
Anyway, back to Potomac. So, yeah, Giselle's just being all in... She was trying to talk shit about Karen to Charisse. And then Karen walked up like a ninja. Like, bitch, I hear you. Right. And I'm right here. What is your problem? Why are you so invested in my time? She's like, well, you just weren't excited about the perfume thing. She's like, it's none of your business. Why? Leave me alone.
I don't get it. At all.
Shouldn't you be worried about your makeup line and your kids and you being single again and blah, blah, blah. Like, and then Giselle brings up how her husband doesn't want her. He wants another wife.
Well, I mean, they're still technically married, so can't say the same thing for you and your ex or you and Sherman. So...
And she screams at the top of her lungs in the hotel while Karen, well, your husband still wants Erica Lyles.
Well, he's still married to Karen. So what, but you, okay, all right.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah. Bless her heart.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
And of course, Monique, okay. I don't think I would be as good as a person as Monique because when they get to the hotel... She has an extra suite available, and she goes to the two people who didn't even want to be there in the first place, and they didn't want to do anything with her in the first place. And she goes and say, well, I have a suite here, and I didn't want to choose, and I felt like since you guys didn't really want to come and you're here, you guys can choose between yourselves. And I'm like, bitch, why?
No.
Why? Why are you giving them the opportunity to get the best room?
Right, and then still talk shit about you for...
It's like Tammy and Monique are equivalent as Giselle and what's the other green? Robin and Evelyn.
Yeah.
That cat, Kiki, I'm gonna do what I want, fuck this.
Right.
I don't really like you. But
you know what? I would take that chance to be. That's where you need Kenya Moore and Potomac. Because I could see Kenya in the confessional. Yeah, I invited Robin because we all know she can't afford to come on this trip by herself and stay in a suite. That's that time. I think sometimes, I know they can't, but they should do housewife season swaps. Like, you go here, you go here, because
that would be nice.
I feel like certain people need certain stuff, and I feel like Orange County, they would probably need like Nene. I think Potomac, they would need like Kenya. Like, Kenya, go way below the belt, say whatever, just
right.
You even look at her the wrong way, she's in the confessional, just yeah. I think that would make it interesting for me, but since that won't happen, maybe.
It's like a wife swap for housewives. That is such a good idea, but it'd be like a challenge.
Yeah, put Brandi Glanville on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Just thinking that.
Oh yeah, they don't like each other either.
No, they don't.
Right. 'Cause yeah, it just,
they need to like mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Where would you put Bethany?
I would put Bethany.
I already have an answer in my mind.
Either New Jersey or Orange County. But I know she said that she doesn't even like anybody from Orange County. She was like, they're annoying.
I had Orange County in my mind.
Yeah. So, either one.
Because Bethany's not really the fighting type, so I think New Jersey would probably be a little bit too much. Because the bitches fight.
Honestly, I think she'd probably send Teresa. I think she would give Teresa the reality check that nobody else has given her.
You know what? That is true.
Like, bitch, nobody cares about your life. I'm not kissing your ass because you went to jail. But since you did go to jail, you criminal. Like, talk to me when you can make money the legal way. Or just, like, yeah.
They have a clip of her saying, like, when you become successful, call me back.
Right.
Did you make your money legally, bitch?
Right. Like, I could see it.
Yeah. No, true. But then Bethany will kind of give Orange County, like, it would be a New York version of Kelly.
Yeah.
Because Kelly came up in there and shook everything the fuck up.
Yeah, it would just be a logical
version. It would be more logical and not so obscene.
Yeah.
But I've really grown to like Kelly, which is really, really, really rare.
Yeah.
Because somebody like Kelly, like Brandi, I never really liked.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's grown on me over time is like it's rare.
Yeah.
But she's been doing great with Shannon and all that. She hasn't really been telling her to keep eating. You know why? It's Kelly has these great one-liners.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been...
Yeah. They just say certain stuff that, like... I don't know. If Kelly would have told me to keep eating, and I will, bitch! And I still don't like you.
Shannon, this isn't even my plate!
As I'm eating.
Right?
Yeah.
I would have been like, keep divorcing.
Right. Yeah, just...
Since that's all they know how to do in Orange County, shit. Who has the highest divorce rate in Housewives history?
Orange County, New York. Definitely isn't Jersey. They stick by theirs. I'll give them that.
Very true.
Atlanta. No, some of them don't even come on married.
Right.
It's out of...
I think it's
Orange County and New York, but because some of their husbands are deceased. So yeah, it's Orange County.
And which is like one of the highest rates of divorce in counties in the country to begin with. So I think Orange County is like 70%. And being that we had the new segment where Gina's already, before the show even airs on her first season, she filed for divorce in April.
Yeah.
And just kind of shows you that money really isn't all that great. I mean, it's time. Time is really what factors into a lot of stuff. You can have all the money in the world, but if you feel like you're not having any amount of time, whether you're the husband or the wife, it just, makes the whole marriage crumble or relationship crumble. Because I'm not about to sit here, my boyfriend, I ain't seen him in 2 weeks, and we live 10 minutes away from each other. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I need some quality time, damn it. You cannot send me a purse and think that that's okay. Eventually, it will wear off.
Yeah.
Beginning, it might be nice.
Boyfriend sending me a purse? Oh, well, yeah, because we can break up and still got my purses.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's not going to help the relationship whatsoever. I mean, of course, you're married. You're going to try longer and try harder.
You can give me whatever you want. In fact, I might prefer the gifts over your time. Oh, no. I mean, there's a 95% chance we're not going to end up married anyway. So I might as well just get out of you whatever I can.
All right.
Just saying. Now, once you're my husband, or at least engaged, then okay. But yeah, boyfriend in 2 months. Hey, I can't make dinner, but I sent you this Chanel. Well, send on then.
Either way, for me, it just doesn't help the relationship. What's the point of getting in a relationship if you're not going to spend time with them? That's just, I wouldn't even get in that relationship in the first place. But, anywho, speaking of divorces, so Ashley says she might not be able to stay with her husband because she feels like he's not a supportive person. She said that when she did her little performance of her song, what was it? Coffee and Love? Love and Coffee? Something like that.
Bullshit.
Apparently, she got pictures back and he didn't look excited or happy. And she had her feelings of him not being as excited as she wanted to be. And I feel like, if she feels like she's trying too hard and he's not trying it at all, obviously it's not going to work out. And her extending the prenup was kind of pointless.
Yeah.
I mean, she tried to prove a point of like her not wanting to seem like she was in it for the money, but he still has to try too. If he's not trying, then why put all this extra effort as far as like, moving back to the house, cutting off her mom, and you're extending the prenup, and he can't even smile while you're performing.
Right. Yeah. Pretty pointless. I mean, you're still young.
She's just turned 30, so she has plenty of time to, if she still wants fresh eggs, she can just freeze them.
Right.
So it's not, I don't know. I mean, I'm not an advocate for divorce, but I'm also an advocate of make sure you marry the right person in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
So that if you feel like you did not marry the right person, then go ahead and just kind of,
let it dissolve and...
Yeah. Don't wait until you're his age before you get a divorce.
Right.
And you ain't got no kids.
Right. Times have changed. Like, you're not obligated to be with somebody for 50 years. And
Not at all. What was that?
So...
Anyway, moving on to Black Ink Crew Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Lily likes to fight people.
Yeah.
Likes to throw these hands.
She does.
But I feel like her point is pretty valid.
Yeah.
Pretty valid.
Shit, what's her point?
Her point, she feels like they were trying to do stuff together and not be like Ryan, but Charmaine is still trying to be like Ryan.
Got it. Yeah, well, she has a point.
And she feels like, that's not fair. Like, we all are supposed to be making the decisions together. And she went ahead and just automatically hired Danielle. I mean, Danielle doesn't really do anything. And technically, Charmaine doesn't really do anything either.
Right, y'all don't need 2 assistants.
No.
2 receptionists, so...
No, not at all. If anything, I feel like the tattoo artist should be having more of a say-so of, like, who does what, and not somebody who actually brings money into the shop. So that part was, like, kind of weird that she would go out of her way, but like, oh, well, Danielle's been here since the beginning. She knows what's going on. I'm like, well, of course she's going to get confused. She's like, what did this bitch do?
Yeah.
She brings no money in. So, of course, when she was like, well, if y'all going to do whatever y'all want to do, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. But I'm going to actually hire a tattoo artist bringing money in to the shop. So, of course, people were like, Shamara's, we're supposed to make these decisions together and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you didn't make the decision to hire Danielle together with everybody else. You thought that was automatic.
Yeah.
So now that she did it, of course, Ford was like, it's weird, but she got coins already, so I'm good. Like, everybody was good in the end because she was bringing money in.
Right.
So, of course, Charmaine has this whole thing like, well, we supposed to make decisions together and blah, blah, blah. At a party, at Ford's surprise party, the cousin wound up talking to Charmaine, and then Lily walks up, and they get in a fight. So it's like she got in a fight with both cousins. And Lily was like, I'm still going to fight your ass.
Yeah. Lord, all of that.
And then Charmaine goes and get the LAC. Like, it's like, what? Okay. All right. I don't understand what has Charmaine thinking she's a shit.
It just kind of makes me see more and more why Ryan just walked away and was like, I'd rather just start fresh, hopefully learn from his mistakes, than even try with you guys, because y'all still just don't get it. Like, first off, it's one tattoo shop of like 10 people total, maybe 10. Mm-hmm. Like, for everybody to have a say in that business-wise, that's just going to make it harder to get a lot of stuff done. You can't have 10 people, all 10 of us are the boss. Like, no, you're not independent contractors. You come in, you do your tattoos, you pay your booth rent, and there's maybe a manager, and then there's the owner, if the owner doesn't do managerial duties and stuff. They just seem like a big, unorganized, hot mess. And yeah.
I feel like the most you would have is like maybe the front desk and then like actual administrative manager.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they don't need a whole bunch of people that's not really bringing money into the shop. Yeah, that's kind of like having $1 billion in one front of house in a restaurant. It's like, y'all not really doing anything. You're not serving food. You're not. Yeah. We don't need like 4 hostess for 2 hostess position. Like, we don't need that many people. So, hell, I feel like Van is being more of like collective, like for everybody. Lily definitely took charge and wanting everybody to be a part of it. Main person that wants it to be like on her accord is Charmaine. And then Danielle's just kind of following suit because that's what she normally does.
God bless y'all shop.
I wish you well.
Yeah. We'll see how this turns out.
It's gonna be a mess.
Yeah.
It's going to be a mess. As far as Ryan goes, I feel like, yes, he can start anew, but if he's still up to his antics, it's not going to be any different with the new set of people.
Yeah.
So that really depends on him.
You have to know how to communicate, and you probably definitely need to set the ground rules from day one. Mm-hmm. And don't mess with nobody else. I would hope he learned his lesson from that.
Right.
And yeah, because he is really talented, so it's like, okay, like we know you don't even really need a shop full of people. You alone, right? I
mean, he was doing well by himself before he even got the new shop. Yeah. So it's like your reputation as far as being a tattoo artist is still, I guess, intact.
Yeah,
but if you don't want drama in a shop, then you have to make sure that you set precedent as this certain type of person.
Yeah.
From the beginning. I guess, because he really didn't mind all the parties and stuff because he was going along with it. Right. So it wasn't until he started fucking with bitches that it became a problem. It got messy.
Yep. And then everybody's like, well, you can't make this decision without all of us. It's like, well, wait, can't he? Like...
Yeah.
He's the boss.
Maybe he's led them to believe that they had some type of, say-so and a whole bunch of stuff in the first place.
We started this all together,
because he kept talking about their 9-man family. Right. So, if you keep, You can be a
family, but they still need to know who the fuck the mom and the dad and the grandma is of the shop. Like, yeah, we're all a family, but I can't tell my mom what to do. Well, I guess, but
no, I see what you mean.
You have to, yeah. So
if it was like an actual blood family,
right,
business, there's still going to be some precedent as far as like, yes, and hierarchy in that situation. So it's like, yes, we're really close. I'm going to be understanding if something happens, if you get arrested, if you got to go to court, if you got to get bailed out, I'm going to understand. But as far as like the actual business itself and how it runs and how it operates, ultimately that is my decision that I need to make.
Yeah.
So
hopefully he
would do that this time around, and then he don't start fucking with bitches on the side anymore.
Yeah.
It looks like what's her face is very involved. Not trying to be rude. I just can't remember her name.
Rachel.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Rachel looks very, very involved this go around, obviously, because they're together. But hopefully that will help the situation, and maybe it will be better because he has a woman behind him to kind of keep things on track, to remind him like, you don't want X, Y, and Z happen again, so I'm gonna need you to do X, Y, and Z to prevent it from happening. So I mean, besides that, I mean, he's doing well. He guys has the new 9 mag open. The other ones they found a way to. Well, no, technically I haven't found a way because they're over here getting in fights and shit. And it ain't really an established business yet. So, anyway.
Best of luck.
The infamous words from me. Mm-hmm. Best of luck. Wish for the best.
Right.
And, I haven't really been watching it, but I just kind of want you to touch on what you have seen on 90 Day Fiancé. How long has this season been on? Has it been on for a while or it just started?
I think it's over.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, I think. I think it's on like a couple more episodes.
Mm. What's your most interesting storyline for this season?
I would say Pedro and Chantel. Is it Chantel? Yes, it is. Yeah, well then, no. Yeah, they are the most all of them are interesting, but they are the most interesting. For several reasons. She's very beautiful. Mm-hmm. And she basically ended up marrying a man from the Dominican Republic because she, according to her, she didn't like the way that, American men were treating her. And to some extent, I understand the struggle, but, I don't want to class all men under one category, but I understand the struggle. So yeah, she marries Pedro in 90 days and they move in together. They live in Atlanta, and her parents is convinced that he is trying to scam her.
Uh-oh.
And they want to hire like a PI to investigate his family back in the DR because they're like, you have a job and you're sending X amount of money over to the DR to help the family, but this could also be going towards, your household and your wife who's a nursing student. And what else? So her family doesn't trust him, and he's like, I don't understand why they don't trust me. Them wanting to investigate me and how they're treating me is really, it's rude and uncalled for. And then he had his sister come visit him from the DR. He bought her sister's plane ticket and didn't tell the wife that he did. And then they went out and bought like a brand new couch, which was $1,000 because they were having her sister come and stay for a while. She gets there and it's like, I'm not sleeping on a couch. And the wife, Chantel, was like, what do you mean you're not sleeping on a couch? This is a brand new, very fucking comfortable couch. And she's like, I'm not sleeping like this. And so her brother was like, well, I understand, like, we have to make my sister comfortable. And she's like, but we spent money on this. And basically they end up getting into an argument, and he goes and sleeps and gets a hotel for him and his sister to stay the night. And then her family was like, how do we even know? Because they already think like he's scamming her. Mm-hmm. So they're like, how do we even know for sure that this girl is his sister? It could be like somebody else. And I'm like, that very well could be it. I don't trust people. So that could be, his DR girlfriend that's just waiting for him to get that, citizenship stamp. And so then the very last episode, his sister and Pedro go over to Chantel's house for dinner, and Chantel's mom is like, yeah, I'm ready to see her, and we gonna talk about this as she's taking her rings off. So then they come over for dinner, and then an argument ensues because they ask her, like, well, how have you liked being at the house with Chantel? And she was like, oh, I like it. It's very happy. And Chantel was like, well, I don't think it is, because when I left out of the house this morning, I heard you like yell out, thank God she's gone, and you started clapping. And she's like, I didn't say that. You're lying on me. And Chantel's like, I'm not lying on you. And then Pedro was like, Chantel, he's like, why would you tell our business to your family that like things have been like rough in the house with my sister? And then he's like, well, I was in the house and I didn't hear her say that. And she's like, I don't understand how you could not hear her say it, but she definitely did, and I'm definitely not lying. And she ultimately just feels like if Pedro, basically he never has her back or anything. Right. Like he's always choosing his family over her needs and stuff. And then ultimately her brother and Pedro get in a fight. And like he breaks a bunch of shit like in her family's home. So, yeah, it's a lot.
I think I saw a clip of a fight.
Yeah, and then, like, the other stories, they're a lot, too. It's a lot. I really like the show. It's good.
I didn't think it was going to do so well. Yeah. It's been going on for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, like, 4 or 5 seasons?
Yeah. So, I've had, like, the past 2 weeks to just, like, sit back and find some new shows to watch.
Right.
Because these other shows is rotting my brain with their redundant storylines. So I was like, well, let's see some other people with their fucked up lives and see how that goes. But, yeah, it's...
Have you ever seen Married at First Sight?
Yeah.
I want to see that, too.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Is it TLC? Yes, TLC, right? I miss, one of my favorite TLC shows was?
What?
Gypsies.
Oh, yeah.
Them bitches was cousins and get in fights all, and then make right the fuck up.
Yeah.
Get arrested.
Right.
They were like a cross between hood, hustlers.
Yeah.
And like a tight-knit family.
Yeah, it was a...
The only part that was rough is that, the girls, they started getting married like 17 years old. Mm-hmm. So it was rough on the girls. Like, I'm pretty sure not every girl when they're 17 years old do not care about getting married and having a whole bunch of babies. And they had to be gypsy.
Yeah.
So they had this whole, like, what you call it? Arranged marriage thing, kind of in a sense, where families that knew each other were like, okay, your firstborn and my firstborn, daughter and son. It's like, it gets really awkward because I feel like they didn't really have a way to choose their life. And if they did, they were deemed, unmarriable by 22. If like you were 22 and you weren't married yet, it was a problem. You'd have kids. Like, women were pretty much produced just to be wives and moms. Like, they didn't really do anything. They were all stay at home. None of them really worked. I mean, you had that one who was in and out of jail.
Yeah.
I forget. I wonder if they have it on the app, because I would totally watch it all over again. It was real interesting, though. It was like a gypsy version of Mob Wives. Yeah. It really was, without them being a mob. But I forget what they called, like, non-gypsies. it was a name, but
Yeah.
they were like, no, you're not dealing with them.
Yeah.
We don't want them. We all gypsy all day. So it was that was one of my favorite. TLC actually has some really, really, really good shows.
Yeah.
Their sister wives shows. My grandma watches TLC.
Yeah.
She watches all the little people shows.
Mm-hmm.
She watches the Sister Wives. She
Yeah.
watches My 600-Pound Life. TLC has a lot of reality shows, but they're really like life journeys.
Yeah.
And it's not manipulated to where they're forced to have like fights and interaction and stuff like that. It's much, much different from VH1 and MTV.
Yeah, I started watching a few shows on TLC the past week. I was like, oh, Jesus, when did this become?
I got to find a new login because TLC doesn't take Dish.
Oh.
That's the only reason why I haven't really been watching it, because they don't have it. Unless I have to look again. I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, TLC is actually really, if you want life, it's called the Learning Channel. So if you want to like learn about different lives and lifestyles, TLC is the way to go. And also, WeTV depends.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have Bad Girls Club anymore. I feel like they're going to bring it back, though.
Oh, God.
Because they brought back Bradzilla's. Why wouldn't they bring back Bad Girls Club? Bad Girls Club was on for, what, 20 seasons?
Yeah.
Something like that. So I'm pretty sure they will bring it back eventually. Their ratings will probably drop tremendously. Because all they have now is Marriage Boot Camp, the Braxtons, Tamar and Vince probably, because they ain't going to break up. And then something else.
Yeah.
But it depends on when it comes to WeTV. But the Learning TLC is really, 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 really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a lot of little people shows.
Yeah.
What Lifetime depends also.
Yeah.
On the show. But Anyway, that brings us to the end of our episode. You can follow us on our social media outlets on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, RealiTEA-V. That's reality_V. You can email us at realityv@gmail.com with no underscore. I can be personally reached at Fumi Adagun on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And I'm also on Snapchat at Ebony888.
You can find me on Facebook, Roberta Smith, and Instagram, Leave It to Be.
And I just started my own little personal blog Instagram called Fumi Loses Fat. It's kind of like my weight loss journey, whatever. It's actually been really fun. I thought it was going to be like really hard, but I feel like it's been a lot easier because I can be more of my authentic self, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm showing my struggles. I'm showing me like going to the gym, what I'm eating and all that. Even right now, I'm trying not to cheat by going and get something to eat. Because it's hard, like, not eating food. But I have food at home, so I'm pretty sure I'm just going to go home and eat.
Yeah.
Because I did cook and I don't want to waste money. But one of these days, my cheat meal is going to be a protein stout In-N-Out burger.
Yeah.
I was like, well, at least I could take the bun out.
Right.
But, yeah, you can follow me on there. I do mainly live Insta stories because it's just easier and it goes away. So, but anyway, see you guys next week.
Bye.